We are coming from the mountain, we are coming from the plain, singing our suffrage songs of freedom, from the wild Pacific hills to the rocky coast of Maine, singing our suffrage songs of freedom. Freedom forever, hurrah, yes, hurrah. We'll all vote together 'neath the stripes and the stars, and we'll rally for our right to vote. We'll rally once again, singing our suffrage songs of freedom. They have heard us in the east, they have heard us in the west, singing our suffrage songs of freedom, and we'll make the echoes ring in the land we love the best, singing our suffrage songs of freedom. Freedom forever, hurrah, yes, hurrah. We'll all vote together 'neath stripes and the stars, and we'll rally for our right to vote. We'll rally once again, singing our suffrage songs of freedom. We will work for equal rights in the land our fathers gave, singing our suffrage songs of freedom. The daughters of those free men, we never can be slaves, singing our suffrage songs of freedom. Freedom forever, hurrah, yes, hurrah. We'll all vote together 'neath stripes and the stars, and we'll rally for our right to vote. Rally once again, singing our suffrage songs of freedom. Let's start at the beginning, with the law. It is 1765, and the law is William Blackstone's law, the law of coverture. And what did it say? Under the British law of coverture, when a woman married, she and her husband became one. How romantic. And the one was the husband. The law stated, quote, the legal existence of the woman is suspended during marriage. Legally, a woman who became a wife became non-existent. Independence for the American colonies was on the horizon when Abigail Adams wrote to her famous husband, expressing her views on women and independence. March 31, 1776. John, I long to hear that you have declared an independency. And by the way, in the new code of laws, which I suppose it will be necessary for you to make, I desire you would remember the ladies and be more generous and favorable to them than your ancestors. The next song is from 1884. It's a parody of Yankee Doodle, our country's first patriotic song, which with new words became popular during the Revolution. Yankee Doodle was itself a parody of an old British song that had been sung for many years in England. When Uncle Sam set up his house, he welcomed every brother. In the haste for his new life, he quite forgot his mother. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, our brothers must not flout us. Mind the music, keep the step, they will not vote without us. Although 100 years have passed, it seems so strange to find him only now discovering his half was left behind him. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, our brothers must not flout us. Mind the music, keep the step, they will not vote without us. Yankee Doodle's wife and girl shall have his full protection, share his cares and holidays, and vote in his election. Yankee Doodle, keep it up, our brothers must not flout us. Mind the music, keep the step, they will not vote without us. As we move forward in time, let's move westward and bring in a bit of Kentucky suffrage history. By 1838, Kentucky led the nation in women's suffrage for school districts. Widows with children of school age were given the right to vote in elections of trustees for school districts, but only widows, no other women, could so vote. Under the state constitution of 1850, women were eligible for the office of county superintendent of schools. And by 1901, 20 women actually held that office in different parts of the state. The idea was successful and doing well. Unfortunately, it was seen as a threat by some politicians. I guess not the right women were voting. So that right was repealed in 1902. And women did not regain the power to vote in school matters until 1912. The beginning of the national women's suffrage movement was a convention, the first step toward the women's vote. The idea for the 1848 Seneca Falls Convention began with 5 ladies having tea and Elizabeth Cady Stanton lamenting the woman's condition. With this small tea party, the women's suffrage cause had officially begun. And many years of hard work lay ahead. It would take 72 years, to be exact. In 1851, Elizabeth Cady Stanton first met Susan B. Anthony, and a historic partnership was born. With Stanton's writing skills, and Anthony's organizational skills, they were a force, dedicating their lives to women's suffrage, always striving for equality. Next song was written for the 1876 United States Centennial and was sung at the National Women's Suffrage Association Convention, which opened in Philadelphia on July 4th, the official Centennial ceremony. 'Tis just 100 years ago our mothers and our sires lit up for all the world to see the flame of freedom's fires. Through bloodshed and through hardship, they labored in the fight. Today we women labor still for liberty and right. Oh, we wear a yellow ribbon up on our woman's breast. We are prouder of its sunny hue than of a royal crest. 'Twas God's own primal color, born of purity and light. We wear it now for liberty, for justice, and for right. We boast a land of freedom, the unshackling of the slaves. We point with proud though bleeding hearts to myriads of graves. They tell the story of a war that ended slavery's night. And still we women struggle for our liberty, our right. Oh, we wear a yellow ribbon upon our woman's breast. We are prouder of its sunny hue than of a royal crest. 'Tis God's own primal color, born of purity and light. We wear it now for liberty, for justice, and for right. The National Women's Suffrage Association wanted women to be acknowledged in the Centennial ceremony. They wanted something said about women's contributions for the past century, which were much more than appeared in our history books then or now. Susan B. Anthony, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and Matilda Jocelyn Gage wrote a Declaration of Women's Rights for the Centennial. Elizabeth Cady Stanton then wrote to General Joseph Hawley, president of the Centennial Committee, saying, "We do not ask to read our declaration, only to present it to the President of the United States, that it may become a historical part of the proceedings." In General Hawley's reply, she was told, "Our program is published, our speakers engaged, our arrangements for the day decided upon, and we cannot make even so slight a change as that you ask." Elizabeth Stanton and Lucretia Mott chose to protest this latest insult by boycotting the ceremony, but not Susan Anthony. Can't you see her jaw set, her lips pursed with determination? Susan Anthony, Matilda Gage, Sarah Spencer, Lily Blake, and Phoebe Cousins decided to make their protest more public. With an air of authority, these 5 women marched to the front of the platform, and Susan B. Anthony presented their declaration. They then left the platform with great dignity, giving out copies of their declaration to those on the stage and in the crowd who eagerly sought to read it. In 1886, we have a song from the many men in a woman's life, fathers, husbands, brothers, even sons, all making decisions for her, and all wondering, now why would she want to vote? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Dear, dear, what can the matter be? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Women are wanting the vote. Women have husbands, they are protected. Women have sons by whom they're directed. Women have fathers, they're not neglected. So why are they wanting to vote? Women have homes where they should labor. Women have children whom they should favor. Women have time to learn of each neighbor. So why are they wanting to vote? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Dear, dear, what can the matter be? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Women are wanting the vote. Women can dress, they love society. Women have cash to buy such variety. Women can pray with sweetness and piety. Why are they wanting to vote? Women have reared all the sons of the brave. Women have shared in the burdens they gave. Women have labored this country to save, and that's why we're going to vote. Oh dear, what can the matter be? Dear, dear, what can the matter be? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Women are wanting the vote. Kentucky joins the cause. The Clay sisters were Mary Barr Clay, Laura Clay, and Sally Clay Bennett. It was Mary Barr Clay who led the way to women's suffrage in Kentucky. In May 1879, Mary B. Clay went to St. Louis to attend the 10th anniversary of the National Women's Suffrage Association. There, she met Susan B. Anthony and arranged for the suffrage leader to speak in Richmond, Kentucky. Sally Clay Bennett also worked with the National Women's Suffrage Association, along with other members of the NWSA. She spoke before the U.S. Senate Committee on Women's Suffrage, arguing that all U.S. women had the right to vote. Josephine Hendry from Versailles, Kentucky, was dynamic in her own way. She was the major force in getting the Married Woman's Property Act passed in 1894. Some called it the husband and wife bill. She regarded the Property Act as the first step toward women's suffrage because she understood the importance of economic independence and security. Our next song is from 1897, and it's the popular old Yankee tune, Marching Through Georgia. The women's suffrage words were put to it continue the theme of equality. There are two quotes that from the beginning to end show it was always about equality. From Susan B. Anthony, men, their rights, and nothing more. Women, their rights, and nothing less. And from Alice Paul, there is nothing complicated about ordinary equality. Bring the good old bugle and we'll sing another song. Sing it with a spirit that will help the cause along. Sing it as we ought to sing it, cheerily and strong. Giving the ballad to the ladies. Hurrah, hurrah, we bring the jubilee. Hurrah, hurrah, our votes they shall be free. So we'll sing the chorus from the mountains to the sea, giving the ballad to the ladies. Bring the good old banner now and fling it to the wind. Mother, wife, and daughter, let it shelter and defend. Equal rights our motto is, we're loyal to the end, giving the ballot to the ladies. Hurrah, hurrah, we bring the jubilee. Hurrah, hurrah, our votes they shall be free. So we'll sing the chorus from the mountains to the sea, giving the ballot to the ladies. Mary Ellen Britton, lifelong resident of Lexington, was a major leader in the community. As an African-American woman, she wasn't supposed to be a teacher, then go on to become a journalist, a civil rights activist, a social reformer, or a medical doctor. But she accomplished all of these. She was a Berea graduate, and her first vocation was teaching. Her interest in improving the community and helping those in need led her to the other profession she became known for. In 1902, she would become the first Black woman in Lexington to be a licensed physician. In 1887, Mary Ellen Britton delivered a speech called Women's Suffrage, a potent agency in public reform, before the Colored Teachers Association, calling for the vote for women. In this published speech, she argued, if woman is the same as man, then she has the same rights. If she is different from man, then she has a right to the ballot to help make laws for her own government. Despite a busy medical practice, Britton remained active in civil rights and the growing women's rights movement. With her many good works, she made Lexington a better place to live. Our next song is from 1912 and gives new words to the popular old barroom ballad, There's a Tavern in the Town. We are the women of the state, of the state. How long will our men make us wait for the right to vote, which we've needed for so long, and we'll help right the things now wrong. Dear men, won't you believe us when we tell you that you need us, and you cannot do without us in this state or land? You say our place is in the home, in the home. We should not be allowed to roam, not to roam, but can't you see that you cannot vote alone and properly protect the home? Dear men, won't you believe us when we tell you that you need us and you cannot do without us in this state or land? We are the women of the state, of the state. How long will our men make us wait for the right to vote, which we've needed for so long, and we'll help right the things now wrong. Emma Guy Cromwell was a woman of our state who makes both Frankfort and Kentucky proud. A suffragist and women's rights advocate, she became the first woman to hold statewide office in Kentucky when she became the state librarian in 1896. She went on to be elected state treasurer in 1927. She was criticized for her conservative handling of state money by men who thought it should be invested in the stock market. But Kentucky's state funds remained secure when the Great Depression hit in 1929. In 1937, after being named state librarian and director of archives, she arranged for the return of the Kentucky Constitution from the University of Chicago archives. Who knew that Kentucky's Constitution had somehow gotten filed away in Illinois? She wrote a book, Citizenship, a Manual for Voters, published in 1920, where she says, I have always believed that as citizens we are provided with so many rights and privileges. It is our duty to give back to our government by informing ourselves and doing what we can to further promote democracy. I think that if you aren't willing to do something to change a situation, you shouldn't be allowed to complain about it. And we are lucky to live in a country that provides the right to speak our minds. Going back to the national stage, It's January 10, 1917. Alice Paul's National Woman's Party started picketing in front of the White House. Because of their passive style of resistance, they became known as the Silent Sentinels. They stood silently, taking shifts 6 days a week through all of 1917, portions of 1918, and into 1919. They were arrested, jailed, sent to the workhouse, tortured, and force-fed. Each time someone was taken away, someone new stepped up to take their place in line. Among the Centennials picketing the White House was the National Black Women's Club leader, Mary Church Terrell, and her daughter, Phyllis Terrell. Congress finally passed the Susan B. Anthony bill in 1919, and Tennessee became the decisive 36th state to ratify the 19th Amendment, August 18, 1920, by one vote. The United States Secretary of State signed the bill August 26, 1920, making it the law of the land. The next song is from 1913 and was considered the woman's suffrage anthem, reaching victory in 1920. Lo, behold, a wondrous morning, daylight has come at last. See those banners, votes for women, hark to the trumpets blast. And with the dawning there comes a warning, woe to the rule of knaves. We gave the nation its soldiers, why should we then be slaves? We are marching on to victory, every heart is light, for our cause is right. We are striving for our liberty, and we're here to fight with all our might. Every mother's son, every loyal one, sing the praise on land and sea of a legion mother army, marching on to victory. We shall strive and we shall conquer, hard though the fight may be. And though hearts grow weak and weary, we'll hike from sea to sea. Fathers and mothers, sisters and brothers, join hands around the world. Our voices ne'er shall be silent, our flag shall ne'er be furled. We are marching on to victory, every heart is light, for our cause is right. We are striving for our liberty, and we're here to fight with all our might. Every mother's son, every loyal one, sing the praise on land and sea of a legion mother army, marching on to victory. When the 1848 Seneca Falls Convention was held, our 11th president, James Knox Polk, was in office. When the 19th Amendment was ratified in 1920, our 28th president, Woodrow Wilson, held office. Through the 72-year struggle to become citizens with full voting rights, women had held conventions, gathered hundreds of thousands of petition signatures, held parades of up to 30,000 women, given soapbox speeches on city corners, picketed the White House, been arrested, tortured, and force-fed. Through all this, they never gave up the struggle to become voting citizens. On August 26, 1920, Carrie Chapman Catt celebrated the winning of the vote for women with a speech that included these words: The vote is the emblem of your equality, women of America, the guarantee of your liberty. That vote of yours has cost millions of dollars and the lives of thousands of women. Money to carry on this work has been given usually as a sacrifice, and thousands of women have gone without things they wanted and could have had in order that they might help get the vote for you. Women have suffered agony of soul which you can never comprehend, that you and your daughters might inherit political freedom. That vote has been costly. Prize it. The new Battle Hymn of the Republic is from 1892, and it's dedicated to all those women who made the 19th Amendment a reality. We're coming free, America, 10 million women strong. We simply asked for liberty, for that we've labored long. Behold our grand amendment, for your ears we have a quote. We're marching to our vote. Soon the women will be voting. Soon the women will be voting. Soon the women will be voting. Come help us win the vote. To that more perfect union that was promised by our sires, not only of the nation, but around our hearths and fires. In our glorious republic, equal justice shall be law, our freedom with no flaw. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Come,